Season 2 of Marvel's Iron Fist showed improvement after a critically panned first season, bringing in new villains, better action, and a lot more glowing punches. Hey everyone, Chastity and Greg here with our spoiler-filled review of Iron Fist Season 2. We're going to break down Season 2, talk about some Easter eggs, all the references that were in it, and what does it mean for Season 3.
Now, warning, of course, there are spoilers ahead, so watch out. If you haven't finished the season yet, go do that, then come back here. But first, make sure to subscribe to Universe for more Marvel videos. Be sure to check out our video on the comic book history of Venom. Also, by subscribing, you can also enter to win this month's giveaway. We'll have more details at the end of this video. Okay, Chastity, let's get started. What did you think of Season 2?
All right, well, like Mike said in his review of the first 6 episodes, it's watchable.
Yes.
So this is something that you can watch all the way through, and you can even binge it. It's totally bingeable.
Very smooth.
Yeah, 10 episodes, not the 13 that we usually get, so that's good. And also, I like the action, I like the fight choreography, which is what I look for most in an Iron Fist show, and we got that here, so that's good, yeah. Especially Colleen Wing, I loved seeing all of Colleen's fights. It was great to see her being a total badass, and she had the most depth in terms of all the characters. So I'm very happy to see more of her there. And then I also liked Alice Eve as Mary and Walker, but I feel like we only scratched the surface of those characters, so I'm interested in seeing more.
I agree.
With Davos, I didn't find him very compelling as a villain. Like, I never felt any sense of real dread surrounding him. It's just one guy. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Yeah. What did you think of Season 2?
Actually, the one guy that I want to talk about here is Ward. I think he had a really compelling storyline. I know it's a little off the books from everything else we had this season, but I like the little Mad Men vibe they had to his character. Davos, the beginning of his story arc, great. It's just, it fell apart towards the end of the season.
Yeah, he just became a serial killer with no real motivation. I don't know what he was trying to do.
No, his motivation was drawn out very well in the beginning. Actually, in fact, every character's motivation is really, really well done, but it's just very thin
at the
towards
beginning.
The end.
Yes, it just thins out.
Yeah, and Mary Walker, Typhoid Mary, I loved her, but I'm very confused why they used her in this show and not Daredevil or Punisher.
I agree.
So we'll see where she goes, and we'll talk about that a little bit later too.
All right, let's talk about what worked. So first, let's talk about the action and fight choreography, which I just mentioned. Incredible, really good stuff.
Day and night, and that's why you're here. When you go into Iron Fist, you want to see the kung fu, you want to see the fighting. They got a new choreographer, great job, but, I will say but here, if you're a huge kung fu movie fan, watching those hard cuts, jump cut to jump cut to jump cut, it's going to drive you insane. That's the only thing that the only knock on this, and this is more for just American cinema in general when it comes to fight sequences. This one just, it's still the same, takes over the top. Punch cut, punch cut, punch cut. And again, people bring this up all the time, but Jackie Chan, he has the best quote on this.
Like an American movie, you can see there's a lot of movement. When the camera angle movement, that means the actor, they don't know how to fight. The director used the angle. Then the audience just very dizzy. Yeah, there's something going on. Then suddenly, boom, finished.
Now, is it fair to compare it to anything Jackie Chan has done? No. Anything?
No.
No. With the time restraints for this show, you can't fault them for this. So I love what they did with it. Good job, guys.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the fights. Also, I really enjoyed Colleen and Misty's friendship and how they're just buddy cops, like sitting in the car talking about snacks, fighting people together, taking on those Crane sisters. That was cool. I had a good time watching them together. I would watch an entire season of just the two of them being buddy cops.
You might get that someday, or at least Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Heroes for Hire, Daughters of the Dragon mix. I feel like that's coming.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that a little bit later, but I feel like we're getting that. They're teasing so much right now.
I don't even know you, and I think this is the closest thing I have to a healthy relationship. Same here.
Also, so rad, Colleen becoming Iron Fist, getting the powers. I didn't think they would do it.
Me either. I didn't think they were going to do it.
Yeah, I thought he would suggest it and she would be apprehensive about it, then finally decide to do it, but then it doesn't work out. Like, she almost
she was gonna
dies.
Get hurt. Yeah, he had to do it last second. I thought that's where they were going. They were going to just do it like they're going to flip it in like an hour into the episode. They didn't do it.
I'm surprised. I'm shocked that they gave her the power.
All right, let's see where this goes.
I'm really excited to see where this goes.
You know this doesn't have to go this way, right?
Get out of the way!
Okay, Ward and Danny, one more time here, because I actually like the family dynamic they had this time
Me
around.
too.
Way more than last season. It felt real. You had real consequences, except for their sister, Joy Meacham. That's the one downfall, I think, for the family dynamic. Her motivations seemed a little too outlandish.
I agree. I really liked Ward and Danny together, and they had like a really nice moment where they were talking about never having said that they love anyone, and I thought that was a really sweet moment. I thought their friendship / brotherhood was like the heart of the season, actually. Like they were closer than Danny and Colleen ever were this entire season.
Yeah, shocking, but Ward was my favorite character, I think, this season. I don't know. I'm a huge Madman fan, so probably that's where my devotion lies in this character, but we'll see. We'll see where it goes.
I did like his storyline. I didn't tune out during his parts, which I thought I would at the beginning of the season, but no, I was genuinely interested in what was happening to him.
Also, I really got to give a shout out to Chen Wu. Great action fighting scenes with him. He's really good, and I just can't believe the way they got rid of him this season, though.
They just pushed him to the side. He barely did or said much.
The ending for his character was a disaster. I can't tell you enough about that, because you have this awesome fight scene with him and Misty, and then it's capped with a gunshot?
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Damn, I thought it was Davos.
Okay, so this season was packed with Easter eggs and references from the comics, so let's just dive in.
First off, Danny and Davos wear Iron Fist masks from the comics in the flashbacks of them fighting each other in order for the winner to take on the dragon Xiao Lao. Also, this fight did not happen in the comics. Davos actually fought Danny's father, Wendell.
The Golden Tigers, one of the gangs involved in the gang war, also exist in the comics, and they first appeared in Iron Fist #8.
Now, Davos is also known as the Steel Serpent in the comics, and Mary Walker is based off Daredevil comic villain Typhoid Mary. You can learn all about them in our video breakdowns for both villains of Iron Fist Season 2.
Ready or not, here I come.
By the end of the season, we learn about Walker's other alter ego, which is Ultraviolet. In the comics, the alter ego is known as Bloody Mary.
Mary mentions Sokovia in her video to Walker, and we see a flashback of her being imprisoned there. As we know, Sokovia was the setting for Avengers: Age of Ultron.
The Crane sisters are based off the Crane daughters from Marvel Comics. In the comics, they are trained martial artists who together can transform into a crane. The Crane daughters team up with and devote themselves to Davos to take down Iron Fist.
The box that Colleen is looking into and the story that Frank Choi and Colleen refer to tells the tale of the Pirate Queen of Pinghai Bay, also known as Wu Shi, the first female Iron Fist, seen in Immortal Iron Fist #7.
Now, Ward makes a random SNL reference in episode 9 when he tells Joy he bought guns in a van down by the river, which is a reoccurring line from Chris Farley's character Matt Foley.
First off, I am 35 years old, I am divorced, and I live in a van down by the river.
In episode 10, Mary is heard singing Monday, Monday by the Mamas and the Papas, which Typhoid Mary also sang in the comics.
Misty makes a joke about their names and says Nightwing, a reference to the Daughters of the Dragon comics, in which Misty and Colleen work together as Nightwing Restoration's undercover.
In the 10th episode, Misty suggests blinging out her new arm. In the comics, she has a gold arm.
Colleen's glowing sword is derived from her ancestor Wu Shi, who was able to pass the power into arrows.
There was a corpse in a box, wearing a mask with a dragon burned onto its chest. I want to talk to the man who sent it. A guy named Orson Randall.
Orson Randall was the Iron Fist immediately preceding Danny Rand. He was a World War I vet who could pass his chi through guns, the very guns Danny has in the final scene of the season. This was sometimes called gun fu.
The ancient bull needed to steal the Iron Fist power as part of Erskine collection. Now this is a reference to Ernst Erskine. He was close friends with Orson Randall and became his biographer. I have a feeling we'll see him in Season 3 or Defender Season 2.
And speaking of Season 3, let's talk about some predictions that we have.
Well, Orson Randall, right off the top, he's gonna show up somehow, some way. Now, we don't know what age range, if they age him up or age him down, what war he came from, but I have a feeling he's gonna show up some way and somehow to help.
Yeah, they might modernize him.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But
if they can, depends on who the actor they find.
Right, and Danny and Ward are looking for him. They'll probably run into him.
Oh yeah.
Maybe in Asia. Like we mentioned before, more buddy cop adventures between Colleen and Misty would be great. So maybe with the Heroes for Hire thing, so like plot A is Iron Fist and Luke Cage, plot B is the Daughters of the Dragon.
I think so, but we know where they're going for the most part for Luke Cage season 3, for where they left off. And the same thing with Iron Fist. So I wonder how they're gonna combine them if they have to have their own series, or it's Daughters of the Dragon, Heroes for Hire, if they mix them together some way, somehow in their own offshoot, like
or
5 episodes.
Or it's the first half of Defenders season 2.
This involves, I think, Fisk at the end of the day.
Yes.
Whatever happens in Daredevil this next season, in season 3, then we'll know where we're going for Defenders, I believe. Back to Typhoid Mary for a second. She's gonna show up again. I was confused why they brought her in this season, unless they just needed to get her origin story out there and then put her in another series. She could show up in season 3, but I have a feeling maybe she shows up in Daredevil some way, somehow down the line, or more appropriately would probably be Punisher. She should probably show up in Punisher somehow. I felt like that character would fit in really well in Punisher, so we'll see.
Yeah, they've barely used Alice Eve, and I feel like she can do so much more with this character, and I want to see what Bloody Mary is all about.
It's not over between us, Joy.
Don't I get a say in that?
That's one of the things I love most about you. Is your sense of humor.
And don't forget, we're giving away a Guardians of the Galaxy Drax and Groot statue from our friends from fun.com. Entering is easy. Subscribe to our channel and click the giveaway link in the description below.
Let us know what you thought of season 2 of Iron Fist in the comment section down below. You can hit us up on Twitter too whenever you want. I'm at GregFT155.
And I'm at Chastity_V. Thanks for watching.
Bye-bye.